All right. See, the funny thing about this is when the recording starts, um, and the AI tool is recording, um, it doesn't really announce that it's being recorded unless you go out and come back into the Zoom. But in any case, like we were talking about here, we're talking about branding this week. So thank you so much for joining, y'all. For officially y'all who are just watching the replay and wasn't a part of our previous conversation before we hit record, right? We're talking about what we do during the day. And one of the conversations that we started talking about is, the content we produce, the amount of content that we produce, because life is life. Life gets busy and it's a lot, right? And it's a fair point to have, right? But creating and producing content and engaging on the platform that you're creating on, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is, putting in that time to give to the platform. Like I mentioned, it's better to give than to receive. That's biblical, right? So, you spend that time giving back to the platform by engaging with those that follow you, right? But also, and more importantly than that, engaging with people on the For You page that you don't necessarily follow or follow you, right? I would make that a priority first to engage on the newsfeed or the For You page because those people don't know you. And, we're still talking about branding because this is the theme this month. So we're still talking about that, but this is a part of building that brand, right? Now, we talked about what you want to be known for. We talked about consistency and integrity and all these things, but this is a part of it, right? The platform, even though it's literally run by an algorithm, it still wants to see dependability, right? And it wants to see if you're willing to give on the platform. And there's one of two ways that you can show the platform that you're a giver. You could do the expensive way where you pay for views, which I don't recommend, right? Especially when you're in this phase, right? You're just starting out or you're intermediary, right? I don't recommend that. Giving on the platform, engaging with the For You page first, people that don't follow you, but more importantly, people who resonate with you, right? And the people that you find value in that could find value in your content, those are the people that you focus on. Because in a sea of where everybody's talking about engage from the bottom up, and you're just sitting there in a series of videos that it really has nothing to do with your niche. It has nothing to do with what you're there to do. It doesn't even resonate with you. Like it's just painful just to sit there and watch all of the video when you're getting no value from it. There's nothing in the video for you or your niche, and it has zero relevance to what it is you're there to do. It's just painful. So I suggest to hone the approach by engaging with people on the For You page that resonate with you, right? That bring you some kind of intrinsic value. You appreciate their point of view. You may not appreciate their point of view, but it's still something that you can get behind. But you can leave a comment that's both positive and I guess for lack of a better way of saying it, a little critical. You know what I'm saying? Where you leave a point of note for them, right? Depending on the video you're talking about. That is how you're supposed to engage during the whole bottom up thing, right? So I hope that helps clear it up a little bit for you, Julio. Tell me if it
Yeah,
does, if it doesn't.
absolutely.
Yeah. So and listen, I joke halfway because about the whole producing one video a day thing, but it is really something that I want to caution everyone that only producing one video per day, it can hurt you. Yes, you show up every single day. That's still consistency. But I also teach you to show up every day and do the right things long enough. And the right thing to do is produce more than one video every day, right? Now, like I was saying before we hit record, before we got started here, you don't have to produce like both of those videos or all three videos, right? One video can be a duet, right? One video can be like I shared before, where I got on TikTok and it was like this, me on camera, right? And I just had the audio where you click where it says you click the audio at the bottom right of the screen, and then you click the red button that says use audio, and you just sit there and let the audio play. And you could do the whole dead fish thing and just sit there. Or you can do the whole, react to what they're saying kind of thing with your facial expressions, right? Or you can do like what I tried doing the other day was just act there, and you don't have to have another phone, right? Because the person is going, why aren't they looking at me? Like, I'm on a video producing platform. Why aren't they looking at me? Everybody else is looking at me. Why is this person not looking at me? But then they have no choice but to focus on the audio playing, because one, it looks like you're focused on what you're hearing versus them watching, right? And it also looks like you're literally getting something from what it is you're hearing. So sitting there like this, where it kind of looks like you're paying attention, but you kind of don't, is a part of what I'll start covering next month, which is the fly on the wall training, where you're literally educating people and showcasing something without them actually looking at that, right? Without them actually having direct contact with you visually, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it almost feels like they're in the room, but they're not really being seen, right? So it's almost like a secret meeting they feel like they're being a part of, right? And even I did a video kind of like that a while back, and I posted it to my Instagram, and it's where I was on a training with you guys, right? Talking to you guys, but it's also a point I wanted to share. So I shared it as a video, but I'm not looking at the screen at all. But people are interacting with the piece of content like, man, I didn't think about it like that, right? Or people have messaged me, saying things like, hey, what are you guys really talking about here, right? And it's because they feel like it's podcast style content, right? Where it's like you're having a conversation with somebody in the room, but you're kind of not, right? So that's something you can do too. It's low bandwidth, so you don't have to come up with a strategy, you don't have to formulate a hook, nothing like that. And the best part is TikTok loves that, because you're highlighting another creator, check off the community aspect of contributing to the platform, right? And you are actually getting to showcase another side of you with talking about something else that's not really business related. It may be, it may not be, but it gives people another dimension to your content, right? Because in that particular video with Philip Anthony Mitchell, right, I'm not talking about courses, I'm not talking about digital marketing, but I am talking about something that matters to me, which is my relationship with God, my relationship with Jesus Christ, and the Word of God. That's what is important to me. And people that see that that's important to me, they will engage with my content and then come back because they know that that's something important to me. And on the back end, when they're actually thinking about, hey, I just got laid off, or my hours just got cut, who do you think they're going to want to come to for an opinion on the make money online industry? Me. Because I am an individual that they know loves Jesus Christ, is unashamed of the gospel, and is always talking about or sharing things that are edifying to the body of Christ. So I am what is it? Passively building trust, right? Passively building trust with them by connecting with them based on something that's important to them, right? Now, let me ask y'all right in the middle of this. Who think that's too much work? Who think that's the long way around? Let's be honest. Anybody?
Not too much work, just unfamiliar. I've never used that app, that um feature,
Wait, what feature?
the duet thing.
Oh no, it's not a duet. But I'm not talking about using a feature. I'm talking about passively building trust,
That's the whole game.
right? Where you're passively showing someone, hey, you can trust me because I am like you. Like you either believe the same thing, have the same worldview, or you have certain things that are important to you or fun for you that you like. Like for instance, another silly thing is the fact that I like Hawaiian pizza. Yeah, I know. In the grand scheme of things, it is not the most important factor in the world, but believe it or not, that's another drop in the bucket that gets people to trust me based on a silly reason that we both have in common. See
Mm,
where I'm going?
right.
Right? Like for you, Julio, for somebody who finds you online, right? What would they find you doing? Like for instance, on your live streams, you're putting,
Yep.
right?
Play
Not
golf. Yep.
everybody's gonna like golf, but people are gonna come for the view, right? They're going to come for the view, or they're going to come for your perspective as an individual, talking about your family, talking about your experience in the sales world as a car salesman, or somebody will come for that beautiful chrome dome you got going on, right? It does not matter which it is, it's something else that people will connect with outside of your business that will intrinsically bring them back to trusting you in order to do business with you,
Right.
right? I was sharing this in another conversation, and it'll sound really familiar, but it is the things that surround your life, the things that you don't necessarily talk all the time about in your content that will actually get people to find common ground with you, that will eventually lead them to trust you more, to take matters in other things, right? You go from some girl or some guy that I've met on TikTok to, hey, let me ask this person what they might think about this particular thing. And that's what you want, right? How many times have we seen somebody on a live, or we've seen somebody in a video that we appreciate their content so much that you end up either DMing them or seeing them on a live stream and just asking them a question in the chat, like, hey, what do you think about this? Right?
Absolutely.
It's normal, right? It's normal to be able to do that. But we kind of miss that from time to time. But that is a part of building a brand based on relatability, right? People can feel like you are an everyday person, right? It's called approachability. And that is a core branding concept that a lot of people underestimate, right? Because when you look at celebrities, right, on a whole, most celebrities seem unapproachable, right? They're too high up. They don't run in the same circles as you do. They don't associate with the same people. They don't eat at the same places, generally, by and large. But then you meet somebody, or then you come across somebody like Keanu Reeves, right? Who rides the bus, right? Who sits in the front of a random bakery eating a single cupcake with a single candle in front of the bakery for his birthday, and in turn buys coffee for everybody that comes in while he's eating his cupcake.
Hmm.
Wouldn't you say that's relatable?
Oh, absolutely.
This is Neo from the Matrix, right? One of the biggest action movies to hit the silver screen. And oh, by the way, he took a pay cut in order to um, pay for bonuses for the entire costume design team and for, I believe it was catering. Everybody. Literally, I think it was like $250,000 or maybe $500,000 to pay people that he didn't have to, right? Same guy that he overheard a conversation that I think a costume designer was having. She was about to lose her house, and he overheard the conversation. He pulled her aside from everybody else, and he asked her, I think he asked her what was going on, and he just wired her the money
Oh,
and
wow.
paid off her mortgage, right? And he didn't ask for nothing back. And he just left, right? No entourage. You can have so many stories like that, right? But by understanding why it's important to build a brand based on approachability and relatability, you will get to understand why people always become fans of creators online. And I understand people don't want to be famous. People don't want to have people hounding them and showing up at their house. Nobody likes that, right? But what you really want is when you say, hey, Chick-fil-A is the move, the cookies are the bomb, they go and they show up in droves because they believe in what you say. They trust what you have to say. And this kind of goes back to the frequency of how much content you post. Posting once a day, you build that dependability, relatability a little bit slower because they're just seeing you one time, right? One time for that day, right? But having a little bit more frequency, they will get to know a little bit more based on your frequency of being on the platform, right? We're going back to the core principle of sales that goes, people have to have at least 7 touches of your product, business, or service before they actually make a buying decision. Having success in business is unfortunately about wearing people down, right? You know how many things I'm thinking about right now that I haven't bought, but I want to buy because I've seen it just so many times, and the value keeps occurring to me every time I see it, right? But it's not everything I see value in I buy. I gotta pray about that, obviously, but it is because they've been so persistent, and I see it all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, right? It's why people rely on virality. But you don't need virality. How you hedge your bet is by showing up in their algorithm, showing up on their For You page multiple times. So you get known for what you want to get known for, which should be getting help from you, right? Getting direction from you, context from you, right? That relatability to you, right? That's what you want to be known for. We talked about what you want to be known for, But how do you get known for that if you only see that it's open, or that they only see you one time, right? And I'm not saying that's the only time they'll ever see you, but during their day. Imagine this, right? So we got a couple of us here live, right, on the call right now. Who's gonna stand a better chance of connecting with somebody if everybody posts 3 videos a day or 2 videos a day, but I only post one, right? By the end of the day, who's gonna get seen more if, let's say, Tiffany not only produces 1 video a day, but she also does 5 stories, but the rest of us don't do that? Who do you think is gonna stand a better chance of connecting with somebody new?
5 stories?
Real question. I just threw out 5 stories because it's 5 stories, right? But I'm just drawing an example here. Who do you think is gonna establish that connection quicker? The rest of us? Or even me here producing one? Or Tiffany,
Wait, the
who
five
does,
stories though, is that equivalent to the one video?
huh?
Are you equivalating the 5 stories to one video?
No, I'm just doing apples for apple, right? So 5 stories are just 5 stories, but they are pieces of content, right? So
Right.
who do you think stands out more and stands a better chance of connecting, us or Tiffany?
Whoever gets more exposure,
Exactly. And short of going viral, how do you get more exposure?
showing up on their phones, on their feeds.
Exactly. Showing up multiple times on their feed, right? Now, here's something that'll bake your noodle a little bit. Most people on the For You page, even those that do engage with you on a regular basis, they don't actually see your most recent video unless they click that notification that pops down on their phone that says you just posted a video. When they come across your video on the For You page, they're likely seeing your 4th video or even a 5th video before they see your most recent one, right? So you got to understand that if you're only posting a certain amount of time, and I'm not saying post 5 times a day to your feed. No, don't do that, right? If you can get out two minimum, right? And that's outside of stories, right? And fun fact, you can share those 2 videos in your stories because TikTok treats it as another piece of content on the platform. And again, with sharing your stories, you're going to get more people, right? You're going to get more new people
You're
coming
right,
into
because
your
your
stories.
followers don't see your posts. When I look at the analytics, it's like 90% For You page, new people. So if
Right,
your message was to your already existing audience, then you got to put that on a story for them to be able to catch it.
right. And some good,
Ah.
but you have an excellent point because by and large, a small percentage of your followers actually see your video. So it's
Right.
even more incentive for you to share your videos that you create in your stories. And that counts, right? That counts. But like what I've been doing for the last couple of months too is just getting in stories and just sharing something that's on my mind, right? I'm not formatting for hooks. I'm not formatting um for keywords and stuff like that. I'm not worried about that. I'm just talking because that's them getting to see me behind the scenes just saying something, just shooting the breeze a little bit, right? But I find ways to drop little hints in the stories that, hey, look, this is how I'm gonna bring this back to digital marketing, right? I'm gonna find some way to relate it back to what it is I'm there to do, right? Even if it's just a passing thing, like, hey, I know y'all know I'm always talking about digital marketing on online business and things like that, but I just had to share this with y'all, right? I just had to share this with y'all. And bear with me because, this is something I'm passionate about. And then you just talk about it, right? You just talk about it. Give me 1 second, guys. Quick second.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. Um, all right. So, questions so far? Any questions?
Mm, so rather than using uh the cookie cutter hooks, been working on like things that actually tell my story, right? Things that actually
Hmm.
pertain to me, whether that's losing the business and stuff like that. And just a lot of stories to make more relatability
Hmm.
versus just talking about the features of the program that, legacy. Just talking
Hmm.
about features, not just talking about features or just talking about digital marketing, just talking about how rapidly things can change, which is something that
Hmm.
many people are experiencing right now.
Hmm.
That's it. That's all I'll shift it. I know it's kind of like a longer way versus putting up an income claim or
Or hardline
but for me
pitch.
it's like I'm planting seeds for people to use that content not as therapy but like as a connection point of like you're not the only one that has had shit happen has had French stuff happen to and and right. So basically just that. So people could connect and like, yeah, it's terrible. Things happen. Boom. But
Uh-huh.
there's a dark spot and then you find the way out.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been focused on, rather than just talking about the automated system and the three things you need to do today: get Wi-Fi, breathe, and look at the camera.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Where you are sharing with people, not just pitching people,
Yeah, that
right?
was it. I didn't want to
Because
be here just pitching people. It's hard enough not
right,
to have the dopamine of a conversation.
right. And that's good. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right?
The four keys.
And what we're gonna learn to do as you continue to do it is do exactly what you just said so well that they didn't even realize they just got pitched,
Right.
right? Always remember the best sale is the one they never realized they did, right? They didn't even realize they got sold because it was just you sharing reality with them and showing them the value of how their life could change based on what you have, right? So then it's not you selling them or you pitching them. they're actually pitching you on
Right.
why they should buy from you. That's where you want to get to, right? Where you
Mm-hmm.
feel so comfortable with your message, you feel so comfortable with the transformation that you've gotten that you are able to pitch people without pitching them, right?
Right.
So, okay, so I'm gonna use the golf example, right? Here's a very subliminal message, right? A very subliminal message is this. Julio is golfing at 11 o'clock in the morning, right?
Right. And go
There's
live,
very
right?
little, huh? Yeah, right? So let's take the live stream, right? Julio is on live golfing at 11 a.m. in the morning. What are most people doing at 11 a.m.? Working,
Working. Yep.
right? They're at their job or they're working their business, right? At 11 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
So on the other side of the camera, right, not being Julio, watching that, what do you think? I want to ask the question for real. So either Tiffany or Kim, tell me what you think. Seeing Julio on live stream, let's pretend we don't know him, right? Pretend we don't know him. What are we thinking? Watching him live golfing at 11 a.m. as they run back to the phone.
Hey,
Must
Now
be nice.
hold up.
living the life. Shoot.
Must be nice.
Say y'all talked at the same time. What'd y'all say?
I said he's living the life.
I hope
Yeah.
he's any good.
And Kim said must be nice. What else? What else are we thinking?
How's he doing it? What type of work is he doing?
Yeah, yeah. What is he doing? That he can golf at 11 a.m. in the morning? Because I know I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing at 11 a.m. in the morning. So what does he do? And even if he's not talking about digital marketing in the moment, right? Or he's not talking about digital marketing at the moment that I come across his live, but I go to the rest of his content and see, oh, well, he's actually putting in his living room, or he's actually doing such and such with his wife while doing this, that, and the third, right? So what actually is he doing? And by the fourth video, you figure it out. Oh snap. He's in this digital marketing thing, right? He's in the digital franchising. Okay, so what does he say about this? And they keep watching the content because they want to know more because he's doing something that they want to do, right? He is at a point in life where they want to be at, right? I'm not saying that you go rent a Rolls Royce Wraith and go rent a mansion and create video. No, I'm not saying that, right? Each of you, live and watching the replay, you are in a place in life where a lot of people are not, right? Just on the virtue of the fact that you know that there is a working solution that's getting you to be able to make the money that you want to make at some point, right? And you're learning that skill set. There are people that don't even know that the skill exists, right? They just bought a $1,500 phone, a $2,500 phone, just to be able to scroll on social media. Ain't that a shame? But there are literally people that don't know that it's possible that they can not actually consume content, but produce content that brings people to different solutions, right? And all of you are in an industry where it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you choose to do, right? Even if you're doing DoorDash, right? If you're doing DoorDash and you like the whole DoorDash life and you want to deliver value to people doing DoorDash and help people doing DoorDash because you figured out a few things, and let's say you create a PDF like someone on this call did to help Dashers learn how to put the algorithm that exists on that platform in their favor. You created a DoorDash secret guide. Don't they need people to buy it? Even if they sell for $7, don't they need people to buy it? Even people that have not got into DoorDash, people who have not created anything, right? Who are just looking to make some gas money or some grocery money, right? Anybody that wants to make any type of anything in addition to what their paycheck pays them, they're still going to need people to do something, right? You guys are in a position to let people know, listen, I know how to get people to find me, and I want to get you the information to teach you how to get people to find you because I don't have to chase friends and family, right? From day one, I had that story where I didn't make any money in digital franchising yet, but what I did know is I no longer would have to chase people. And how many of y'all been in businesses or been a part of stuff that you had to chase people? You had to learn things like one of the most annoying things to me, and Julio, you can attest to this. One of the most annoying things to me was having to learn that dreaded overcoming objections training. Every salesperson on the planet had to spend time learning how to overcome objections. Isn't that right, Julio?
100%.
Right? Because if you don't know how to overcome objections, guess who doesn't make money?
You.
Exactly. Because people love saying no. People love saying, I'm gonna go get my husband, or I gotta talk to my wife, or I gotta find out if I can fit it in the budget. You wouldn't be here if you didn't think you could.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it is. I didn't want to overcome objections anymore. I had no desire to do it anymore. I had no desire to bother people at any time of the day, much less at dinner time. Listen, I was one of them hated people. I was the dude calling you right at that third fork full of mashed potatoes going into your mouth, asking you if you want to buy a timeshare property. I was that guy.
How about rescheduling with friends?
Yeah. Oh my God. Listen to me. Oh man. If it's one thing that drove me up a wall, it was that.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we missed such and such, but can we get back on the calendar for this and this date? Let's set something. What's the T word, Julio? Let's set something tentative,
Tentative. Yes, sir.
right? Let's pencil it in. Like, come on, man. Let's do something.
And then they
Do
avoid you when they don't buy the policy or cancel the
yes.
policy. You're like, yo, if you die, that's your problem. I don't know.
It's like, and listen, and I'm gonna just tell y'all this story real quick. Listen, I remember one year. It was me and my best friend. We drove probably 40 minutes to a postal worker's house. And everything as far as setting up the appointment was a breeze, right? Anybody that's ever been in sales ever in their life, knowing there is some sort of difficulty in there to set up the appointment, to close that schedule, right? You get them in the books for that day, for that date, for that time. That was a breeze. Oh, you want to talk life insurance? I'm a postal worker. They not guaranteed. Yeah, I got a government job, not government, government, no V. I got a government job. I got benefits, but you know what? I need to have something personal. Okay, come through, right? 40 minutes in traffic. Halfway through, we're at a light. At a red light, just sitting there waiting for it to turn green. Bam! We get rear ended. Sitting at a light, we get rear ended, right? But luckily, it wasn't the car that crashed, didn't crash into us. They crashed in the car behind us.
Mm-hmm.
So the car that got rear ended us, right? And yeah, we're hurting, but we got work to do. So we persist to the appointment. 20 minutes later, we show up at this lady's house, and she, okay, welcoming, lemonade, little piece of pound cake. Let's go. Let's get on with the appointment. Half an hour in to our presentation, she starts to stonewall hard, right? She starts to talk about, oh, she has a SEP IRA, she has a this, that, the group insurance. I hear what you're saying, but the group insurance, even though it's more expensive, I'm going to still keep it because that's a part of my job, and this, that, and the third. The life insurance, I know you guys are getting me a quarter. A quarter of what she would normally pay for the life insurance she has in force, right? A quarter. And listen, on all fronts, we're saving this woman money. All fronts. She is about to be 65 in less than 2 years. But they're talking about maybe letting her go. And she's like, maybe I'll still make it because I've been a part of the company for such and such a time and all this stuff. Do you know, like when she finally put the last brick on that stone wall, I was hot. I was like, bro, let's just go. Like, and my friend, 6'5", 265 pounds. 6'7", 265 pounds was about to come across that lady kitchen table. Because we just got rear-ended. And now we spent 40 minutes, well, better part of an hour, because we didn't get there until after the hour because, we got to get insurance information and all that jazz. But how would you feel? How would you feel? Your back hurt, your neck hurt, but because you committed to serving your client, you still pushed through. And then what started to seem like a great day, all of a sudden isn't. How would you feel? You would feel terrible because what? Just the fact that I never have to do that again is worth the $900. Just
Right.
the fact that I never have to do that again is worth the cost of admission. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Whatever it is you're investing in, whatever it is you're starting with, I don't care which course program, whatever, as long as you're learning digital marketing the legitimate way that gets you to become the hunted in business, listen to me. It does not matter the outcome. The outcome is freedom. The outcome is not having to do the things you would have to do to make some money. Right? That is the story everyone has. I no longer have to do the thing that I used to do to make money.
or I'm looking forward to not having to do the thing that I currently do for money because I want to do this instead. And when I say this, I don't mean digital marketing, I don't mean digital franchising. I mean, I want to be on vacation or going hunting or going golfing or going to volleyball games, or I want to show up for my nieces and nephews. I want to be at an event with my mom helping her reach people for the kingdom, right? I want to fund the things that mean the most to her because she means the most to me. That's the this I'm talking about. Are y'all tracking?
Yeah.
Right? These are the things that we are to be telling people. Did I once mention an income claim? Done right, disclaimer or not? Did I once mention that my goal is to make $150,000 a month? Did I once mention that, hey, I can make $900 a day, a sale, whatever? Did I once mention that? No. But did I mention something that means something to everybody on this call? That I no longer have to do insert thing here that I used to have to do for money. I get to make money in my sleep. I get to have people come look for me for a change, asking me, how can I help them? Not, can you tell me about what it is you have? How can you help me? Like me and Kim were talking yesterday, and we talked about the difference between sales and order taking, right? When people go to an IHOP or they go to your favorite buffet place, Golden Corral, pick your poison, right? When you go to a place like that, are the people in the establishment actively knocking on doors saying, hey, we got this buffet place open, come check it out? Are they actively doing that?
No.
No. Why? Because they know hungry people will find their way, right? When you walk into that restaurant, do you have to be sold on the big steak omelet?
No, but it sounds good.
Hello. Why? Because you're hungry, right? You're hungry and you're looking for the best way to fill and ease that hunger, right? That's how you have to look at this. Like, you're not trying to sell somebody on why your course, program, business, whatever it is, why they should have it, or that it is valid, or they should take it seriously. No, you're hungry, being you don't have enough money. You don't have enough time with your family. You're doing something you hate to make money. Don't you want a better way? Do you think you would like that to stay the same for the rest of your life? Do that if you want to. But as far as over here, as for me and my house, we going over here, right? And you get to see me live life doing whatever it is while you do the thing you hate to make money. Do you think everybody can tell that story? Real question. Do you think everybody can tell that story?
Oh, no, not at all.
No, but I'm saying, can you tell the story of you are no longer where you are?
Yes.
You are in a different place and you don't have to make money the way you used to anymore. Can everybody tell that story?
And if we're not there yet, we're working towards it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody can tell that story. And the best part about it is everybody can tell that story every day and 4 times on Sunday. Right?
Absolutely.
That's what we have to realize here.
Yeah,
It's
but the
not
question becomes how you tell it. That's
huh?
the thing. I said, but the question becomes, yeah, everybody can tell their story, their own story. But how you tell it makes a difference too, I think.
It does.
Yeah, and that's the challenge. That's the challenge.
But that's what the 4 keys to creating relatable content training is for.
Yeah,
It teaches you how to frame that message.
yeah.
It teaches you how to take your story and place it in a way that it will draw people towards you. Right? Telling that same story, it's a story that's unique to everyone. Not that we're trying to reach everyone, we're just trying to reach the people who are hungry. Right? That's what we're doing. Right? I'll put it another way. If you want to feed the homeless and you decide, okay, I'm gonna make 50 sandwiches, 50 tuna sandwiches, right? Is everybody gonna like tuna? No. Is everybody gonna take a sandwich based on the fact that they have this unrelenting hunger? No. Because even though some people are hungry, and yes, they are in a homeless position, they're not gonna take the tuna because even though they are hungry, they don't want that's not what they want. And that's what y'all have to realize. We're not here to get everybody. Everybody can't come. Everybody don't want to come. Everybody are there are people, I should say, that are happy being stuck, happy being on that nail, happy trading time for dollars, happy being at the salt mines, happy having the Sunday scaries, happy going through life, rushing through life, right? So the thing I hope that makes sense. You don't want everybody coming to you. You want only the people that are serious and are ready for the change that you have. If they're not ready, let them sit and marinate. They'll come, right? You are there to help those that want help. And those that want help, they will seek you out, right?
That point is like right on time because you already know that's exactly what I'm going through right now. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm sharing something with you guys that I created. Open it if you can. And this is what I'm using to keep myself grounded and consistent every day.
All right. We'll definitely be checking that out. Oh, thank you, Tiffany, for letting me know early I was on mute. I didn't see the chat until just now. Let's see. I clicked on it. Didn't really. Oh yeah, it did open up. Yeah, but okay. So, Kim, I will ask this question because you mentioned or you alluded to what's going on with you, and if you don't mind me sharing, Kim, let me know about the good news in your business. Do you mind?
Of course I mind. No, just kidding.
um, Kim had yet another series of videos pop off.
Nice.
So, congratulations on having several viral videos. But now,
Congratulations.
exactly.
Thank you, I guess. But I'll respond to that for what I mean by that because yeah, it's go ahead, Nick.
No, but I was just, and we're probably going the same way. Is that it is my personal opinion, while going viral is a great thing and it deserves being celebrated, it's not all it's cracked up to be, right? Because having viral videos and not necessarily knowing what to do once that happens and how to leverage and harness the power of virality, it makes a difference, right? That's the hard part. That's the part that very few people are talking about on the For You page on TikTok, on any other news feed for that matter, right? It does not mean that now listen, and I'm not talking about specifically Kim's virality. I'm talking about anybody's. Will some people have the light bulb go off and just do the thing you want them to do? Yeah, absolutely. But by and large, and I'm gonna let Kim share one or two stories as to what some of the dawdlers are doing, right? Some people that just want to be at Burger King right then, right? Have it their way, right? How do you deal with that? So Kim, if you don't mind continuing where you were about to say, where you're about to explain, because I don't want to steal too much of your thunder, because I want you to shine on this one.
Yeah, no, and not that I'm definitely grateful. I was never one of the persons to be like, "Ooh, well, I need to go viral," like a lot of these other people. Just because people talk about going viral, everybody wants it. You know what I mean? And for me, it was just like, okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happened, I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And it happened so fast. But what I've noticed is, I appreciate where I am because, I have had some good things, of course, happen. And then there's some maybe not so good that you have to deal with on the other end. So it's a catch-22, honestly. But I do find that the majority of the audience that have come in from those videos, they're not even my audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you've got people in my like if I don't respond in the comments, which I'm not going to respond in the comments on a viral video to every comment. Like, really, first of all, that's time consuming. I'm not doing it. But second of all, if I don't respond to them, then they're in my DMs. So my DMs are blown up, right? But you give people instructions and they want you to do the work for them. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm telling you exactly what to do. Why will you not do it? I'm not going to do it for you. So it's just dealing with the tug of war of, people's mentality that, oh, I need to make sure this isn't a scam before I make this jump. I'm like, for $50, you got to be kidding me. You spend more at Starbucks in a week's time than $50. Then what are we talking about? Because my thing is, okay, if $50 is the problem, then yeah,
you got bigger problems.
Yeah, this isn't for you. It's all mine. So I don't have time. I need people that are serious and ready. You know what I'm saying? $50. I'm not talking about hundreds of dollars.
Listen.
You're talking about scam for $50. You got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. So I just find it funny, just the things like that. And then you have the serious ones that do exactly what I tell them to do when I'm giving the info. And then, you either want to do it or not. It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
People think that they're supposed to make, because you can make money, on a weekly basis, people think that they're supposed to make money quick. Well, it depends. You still got to put the work in. Mm-hmm. It depends on what you do. And so I just think it's hilarious. Some of the comments that I get, and I replied to some of the comments and just let them have it. Some was more like, as a matter of fact, and then others were more like, okay, I'm going to be serious about this, but my words are going to hit you in the heart because what you just said is ridiculous. Like, you're complaining and you ain't even got the right information. You got to be kidding me.
Exactly.
So it's funny, but I've learned a lot though throughout all of this. And Nick, you kind of helped me to realize, and I don't even know how I'm going to put it all together, but I kind of knew in the back of my mind that, I mean, all of it is under the realm or umbrella of digital marketing. I just hadn't been able to blend it all,
Uh-huh.
or understand how to blend it all. So, now I got to figure that out because, with my two accounts, I want them to still be kind of cohesive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm figuring out now. But I have made sales and it's cool. But initially what I thought is like I'd be like whoo, happy over heels. But when you get into the grind of it, it's like okay, so I got to do this, I got to do this. Okay, let me not get pissed off about this. Okay, so it's kind of catch-22. You deal with the happy part about it, and then you deal with the other part because you have people like that, which I knew that. So, but I'm blessed. I'm blessed to, be in the position. So
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Hold on 1 second, guys.
yes, Tiffany.
Okay, because you said $50. I'm like, oh, is it Live Good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. How many comments did you have?
Girl, thousands.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I have I think I've had about 7 videos pop off.
I created another account for my Live Good, but I have not started making videos. I intend to.
Yeah, but I mean, people be, it's just, it's funny. It's funny.
Oh, I would love to see the viral video. You need to share the link.
Let's see.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't even have. I need to get you on my followers list on that end. That way.
Well, put the link to the other one in the chat.
Or I can share mine if that's easier. Let me share my link.
Yeah, y'all can do that.
See, this one I'm on my iPad, and for some reason I don't know what the problem is, but I can't sign into that account on here. It's not letting me. It takes me through all these changes, so I got to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
But
I think I have the link here. If you don't mind, Ken.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can pull it. But also, if I can ask again, Miss M, that we create a post in the academy where people can just post their links to their socials that people can just follow to say, not like a follow train, but like, just to support each other.
Yeah.
And guys, please, when you do that, please engage, like at least on the first 4 posts, if nothing else. That way, the accounts will start showing up on your For You page and all that. Do the things, please, because I commented on this follow train thing. This is the video. Hold on. Let me go to the actual page and not the actual video because I don't want to have them open up that particular video because of the language. I just want to share the main page. So let me see.
For the subtitles.
For the subtitles. Yes. She gets
sorry, let me apologize ahead of time, you guys. Sorry.
No need.
I mean, she gets a little colorful sometimes. No judgment. No judgment.
All right, none taken then.
No judgment. All we're saying is, inside this space, it just y'all know how I feel about that, but what I'm saying. Just know we're pre-warning you. But she does have some awesome value in those videos. So make sure and check it out. I posted the link in the chat. So if you want to go ahead and do that, you can click on the link right now in the chat and do that. If you're watching the replay, Kim will try to post the link to her other TikTok account in a post in the academy, so you guys can follow her on that one as well. And I have to mention this because I was gonna, well, Kim, I'm gonna still have you do this, but I'm gonna have Kim give you 5 things to know after you go viral, right? But before she does, I'll say this. The big thing that I tell people, because I have multiple accounts on TikTok, is I will never DM you first. And I don't do business in DMs, right? That way you protect yourself and your audience from these doppelgangers. Because I guarantee you, if I go into TikTok right now and go into that search field and type in wealthy side hustle, you're going to have some people who already duplicated her account. Because that's what they do when someone's account or someone's content is hot. They duplicate it immediately and start DMing people. All right, so Kim, if you don't mind, because we're talking about your virality and what you realize, if you had to give people 5 things that you learned after you went viral that people don't talk about, what would you give them?
That's a good question. People don't talk about the fact that when you get an influx of people on the videos, that it may not even be the audience that you're trying to target. That's my main thing, because if you're building, for and speaking to the people that you want to attract, it makes it difficult to have any and everybody, on that video. And you can tell, just by comments and what's being said, it's like, okay, this isn't my person, And so just sifting through the people that are like me, or the people that are serious versus not. So that's one thing. The second thing is, going viral doesn't mean that you're about to make sales. A lot of people are illiterate to the fact that just because your video pops off and you get pushed out to a large audience doesn't mean that that's the audience that you're trying to attract. So, keep that in mind as well. It's just a lot of false pretenses about going viral, but just because everybody says going viral, it's the hot thing and everybody wants to do it. But do you really understand what that entails, And I don't think people do. Those are some of the things that I've come encounter with. And then just the fact that, everybody's so leery about anything online. And so they challenge you all the time, I want to make sure this one guy wanted me to explain in detail about the pro. No, that's your job. Do your own research. I'm giving you the information. Do with it what you want. But I'm not going to sit here and A through Z give it to. No. It's not that type of party. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But it's just, some of the audacity statements is hilarious to me, but I'm learning a lot. Learning a lot about people online that are totally opposite of me and how I think, and just how to handle it. You get that influx and now you're dealing with both sides. So you have to be able to, I guess, balance it all, in mindset and in traffic. And
Mm-hmm.
more traffic means more work, initially, but finding that balance and, knowing when to cut it off, as far as responding and things of that sort. I'm not going to spend all day long responding to every comment on a viral. Are you kidding? I had
Exactly.
2 pop off in 1 week. No way. No way is that happening. And it's not going to lock me up. That's the thing. I'm not about to be locked up by no virality of videos. So just finding the balance on that. But then because I made that a separate account and just kind of understanding and realizing, just talking to Nick about, everything being under one umbrella. Now I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to leave my initial baby Wealth Within Reach account, to the sidelines. But I mean, I've kind of done that a little bit, because initially I was kind of overwhelmed with everything and I was trying to balance everything out. So, you just gotta keep all that in mind. And now I'm just trying to figure out how to make it whole between the 2 accounts and not separate,
Right.
Within Reach has just kind of I've just been trying to keep it going, but I want to give the love on both ends. And I don't think 100% am I giving the love on the other one, because I've just been busy trying to maintain and balance this second one. So so that's what it is, you guys.
Yeah. And I think a big one that's worth mentioning too is TikTok jail. Like for commenting too fast, or commenting on too many comments at the same time, like you get tossed in the clink, virtually speaking, right? Because you're trying to get to because busy is good, right? But because you're on TikTok, they're gonna assume that you're a bot because you're responding to 20 comments in 30 minutes. It's like, how you doing that so fast? And then bam, you're in TikTok jail. And you can't comment for an hour. You can't comment till tomorrow. Right? So that's a big one that people don't really realize. And for everybody that's listening right now, whether you're live or watching the replay, that's a video you can go create right now. Right? Top 3 things that people underestimate about going viral. Right? Everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants to go viral, but few people would even know what to do if it happened to them right now. Here's what I learned inside the academy that I'm a part of. Right? And you talk about those things. Right? And then at the end, you're like, okay, so life is about realizing and shifting your perspectives. I'm no longer focused on virality. I'm focused on being able to help people. And by figuring out these things, because of the training that I'm getting in the academy, I am actually learning how to move through going viral when it happens. So I make the most out of all the views that I'm going to get, because views don't mean dollars. And you leave them just like that. Views don't mean dollars. Because everybody and their mama is talking about how to get more views, how to get more views. I got 1,000 views on one of my videos recently. 3 comments. 1,000 views. And you would think by ratios of expectation, you do 10%. Out of 1,000 views, you should have at least 100 people like the video. And you should have at least 10 comments in that video. Those are the thresholds that I use, right, in my business. 10%. If I'm doing 10%, I'm doing great.
All right.
Right? 1,000 views, 100 likes, 10 comments. Anything less than that is a little subpar, right? Not to say it's a bad thing, but you can build on that, right? But 1,000 views, 3 comments. Was the juice worth the squeeze? Let's see. Right? After a couple of days, and you only get a handful of comments, can you really consider that a win? But most people will go, oh, I got 1,000 views. Yeah, Celebrate that. You got 1,000 views, but all you got was 1,000 views, right? Don't chase the views, chase the request for help, right? How many people asked you for help today? How many people asked you for help this week? How many people come to you for help this month? That's the win that I gauge from, right? And ultimately, my sales will tell the story. Because the sales, it really has very little to do. The sale itself has very little to do with you. It's about them making the decision, right? You got a bunch of looky-loos who just want to look and see, and a bunch of people who just want you to spoon feed them with the little bib on and the high chair and the attitude and all this. You don't need that type of person in your business. Why? Because they will become a major migraine in your business. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't sign up for migraines. Mm-mm. I can do with a lot less of people like that in my business, right? Not to say any of you on here or watching are migraine, right? But I just want people to understand that the skill set of marketing is not a swing for the fence every time you step up to bat. But learning how to master and hone your skill set and your message, every day is not going to be perfect, but every day is going to be better than the last. Right? And Kim, we talked about this several different times about how to unify your approach. Talk about how you're on your wealth within reach. And I know we will continue to talk about this, right? But you talk about how learning marketing, learning to think like a marketer, learning to improve your mindset and become a better person, become the best version of yourself, that's as a result of the skill that you're learning. You've became the person that gets viral videos because you've learned things about yourself, about your process, about your business, and about your past trauma. All of that's influencing your growth in your business, right? And you talk about that on your digital franchising business account, right? Where you're promoting courses, or you're promoting whatever it is, right? That's how you bring it together. What has the other one taught me that brought me here on this account? And there's a couple different strategies that we'll talk about one-on-one to do that specifically for her business, but that's the template.
Yeah.
Right? That's the template. How does digital marketing and knowing digital marketing and working on your mindset, letting that be the thing, becoming more relatable, becoming more consistent, becoming that individual that people see as valuable or see as can get a transformation from, how is that bringing me to be the person that has the sales, that got a couple videos to pop off, got my basic DMs exploding every day now? How does that happen? Why? Because I learned this over here. If you want to learn how I'm doing that, and if you want to learn how I transform, put ready in the comments. Right? Mine is I put the hunted in the comments because that always reminds people I'm the hunted in business. But that's my story. You know what I mean? So any other questions, guys? Because it is 2:40. I don't want to keep you guys too long. We've been on for about an hour and 35-ish minutes. Any other questions?
Well, I believe I scheduled a call with you after this.
Oh, you did? I didn't realize. I didn't
Yeah.
Okay.
Kim, congrats. And what's most important is let's go Heat.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, take that back.
Cavs, baby, I'm in the
Let's
Sunshine
go,
State.
Cavs, baby.
He just slid that one in there, man. He just slid that one in there. I like that.
Leave it up to old Julio.
Yes, you know he can't miss a session.
I know.
You
I know.
know, you know. He
That's my
always
confession.
leaves us with one, right? Yeah. Tiffany, you good? I don't know if she's working, if she's busy. Okay. All right, cool. So we've been doing this series on branding this month. How do you think the series has been for you? Has it been helpful for your business? Has it been, you having some aha moments?
Yes, absolutely. Made me think about what it is that I want my brand, my persona to represent. And
Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And the challenge is just it's a lot. I mean, just eye opening on a lot of things I didn't even think of.
Yeah.
But trying to get myself to move,
Yeah.
take action on what I think I want to do versus just continuously thinking about it and not doing.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I just want to have it. I just want to be clear so that I can flow with it. And I have so many thoughts in my head based on your suggestions, but I just don't know how to begin attacking it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And let's see. Tiff says, yes, it's making me think as well and structure my story better. Awesome. That is the sis. That is the goal. So I want to remind us as we're closing off here. Um, one-on-one slots are still available. However, we're still doing 3 a week because again, I gotta think of my health, I gotta think of my family too. So we're doing 3 spots for the week. So if you haven't already, and this is outside of onboarding calls, if you're watching this, you're watching the replay and you haven't done your onboarding call, please stop putting it off and schedule it, right? Because if you guys join with the 30-day free trial, it's coming up to the end of the month. So we can't say we didn't get anything if we didn't even get on in the first place, right? So make sure and schedule your onboarding call. Aside from that, one-on-ones usually have to be usually, yeah, of course you're eligible for that, Tiff. Of course you are. So if you haven't scheduled it, make sure you get with me and schedule that. Or you can go into the 6 week boot camp, and it's one. I think it's the third or the fourth thing step in there in the 6 week boot camp where you can schedule your onboarding call and to get that squared away. But most times, if you message me directly, you might be able to get a spot that maybe somebody dropped on or didn't show up for. And as well, guys, I have to implement this. I put this in the academy a couple of weeks back. I am going to be instituting a $20 no-show fee because I prepare myself, I prepare my family for that. So please, if you can't show up, let me know ahead of time so I know how to move, I know how to structure things. More importantly, I know how to divert my family because that's the most important thing to me. But if you don't show, it's I give you 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes. You don't show after 20 minutes, that $20 fee will apply, right? Because again, time is valuable, right? So that's going to be a thing. And I want to put this on wax so everybody knows. All right. All right, guys. Any other things before we hop off? Because I got,
Nope, all good.
huh?
All good.
All right.
Hey, check your text too, by the way.
All right. I will, sis. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I will see y'all on the next one. I think we start May, right? Next week. Is it next week or week after next? My calendar is off.
Next week is the 30th.
Next week is the 30th. Okay, so if we do have one more week, we can continue with branding, or we can do content. Which one y'all want to do? Or we can kind of tie in both of them for next week.
Let's do both.
Let's do both.
You guys,
okay.
You guys,
what do you think, Julio?
Yeah, both sounds good.
Both? All right, 2 for both. Tiff, what do you think? We do one, the other, or both? What do you think? All right, recap branding. So we'll do a little bit of both. So I'll do a lot of, in the beginning we'll recap branding, and then towards the halfway point we'll start to get into content, right? So we'll do a little bit of both. All right. So thank you guys so much for taking the time. Julio, I will get with you in a few minutes. Just shoot me a text and I will be with you shortly. I just want to make sure and check on the kiddos. All right.
Go crazy. You guys have fun.
All right,
guys. We need to
later.
Talk to you guys too offline, so we can support each other as well.
Yes.
We'll figure it out, right?
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.